is the kids order like a pizza or something, and these guys break into their house and are trying to capture them, and it's these two doofuses.
Pinky, right?
Oh, I did. Yeah, I broke my pinky. Yeah, it broke my grip, and I looked, and my pinky was like hanging off to the side, and I kind of like cracked it back into place, and like, ooh, boy, that
hurt.
In times of old, in times of new, there's a God to follow to make it true. It's the pop culture field, and you will.
And away we go. This is Nukem, right?
Nope, ninjas.
Ninjas?
This is ninjas.
We're already off to a horrible start.
Ninjas. Ninjas.
We're already derailed.
Okay. You want to start it off?
Yeah,
man?
let's do it.
All right.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pop Culture Field Manual Podcast, sitting right at the intersection of weapons, action, the military, and pop culture. I am your secret ninja host, Israel Wright, and with me, the one, the only, the shogun of them all, Cameron Fath.
Thanks, Izzy. That was great. Honestly, I didn't know why you were whispering at first, but then it all came
I was getting
together.
with the whole ninja theme.
It's awesome. And I mean, you can probably guess what this episode's about now.
That's right. I mean, if
Saves
you
me
read the
breath.
title,
Absolutely.
we forget that there's information out there about the podcast before they press play.
Oh yeah, it like says it in the name or something.
we posted
Over here,
about it
I'm
on
like,
Instagram.
I'm just waiting for us to announce it, and it's like a big shock.
Yeah, like they're like every episode, they're like, "What is it going to be about today?"
Yeah, I have no idea. The title says nothing. It just says episode 10 of season 2.
Yep.
But hello, everybody. Cameron Fath, just as Izzy said, former Army Ranger, and today you are tuned in to the Ninja episode of the Pop Culture Field Manual Podcast. We're excited to do this because, you know why? I'm going to tell you.
There's many reasons why.
There's many reasons why we picked this, because we've already done a samurai episode.
Yeah, it's kind of in our Japan category of
Our exploration and appreciation of Japanese pop culture.
exploration and appreciation of Japanese pop culture.
Yep, we've done anime. We've done samurais.
Have we done kaijus and like Godzilla, or was that like monsters? Big monsters, I think.
Yeah, that would consider. I mean,
many of them.
all right,
take
write
place.
that down.
Poor
Write that down.
Japan,
Yeah,
always getting blown up by like giant monsters or
Yeah,
space
just
aliens or
being-
something.
Yeah, or ninjas.
Yeah,
for
or ninjas
example,
being
like we're
blown up
about
by
to talk
ninjas.
about. Yeah, but ninjas are super cool, man.
I love ninjas,
Ninjas
man.
are great just because there's like that level of ninjutsu. I mean,
Yeah.
you've seen it portrayed in like anime, doing stuff like impossible things.
Yeah, like the smoke bomb. You smoke bomb
Yeah.
and you disappear in one spot and then appear in a different spot.
And it's like, to me, I watch these movies that have like ninja in it, and then I'm like, is that even, humanly possible to like become that proficient at like espionage and stealth and
Right.
concealment that like you can literally be gone in a matter of seconds just by, a pepper bomb. It's like, it blows my mind.
But something tells me that back in the day when the ninjas were like at their peak, stuff like that was probably possible, because we like have this idea that like because we have like iPhones and stealth jets and machine guns that like we are the pinnacle of like human achievement. But like back then, if you did something, like you only did that one thing for like your entire life. Like if you were a pot maker, that's all you did. You made pots.
You can make the hell out of some
make the
pots.
heck out of some pots.
Yeah.
And then like if you're a ninja, that was probably like all you did. It's all you focused on.
Pepper
and stuff
bombs
like
and
that.
throwing stars and
Yeah.
not katanas.
Now, is that a misconception?
Ninjas don't use katanas.
They don't use katanas?
It's how the katana has, and this is just me
Wait a
talking out of my ass. But you know how ninjas, samurais use the katana, which is a curved blade.
Okay.
The ninja sword is a straight blade. But I don't know exactly what it's called. But if you know what it's called and you're a super super big ninja nerd, let me know by sending us an email to the Pop Culture Field Manual.
Pitapa.
Send an email to the Pop Culture Field Manual Podcast at pcfmpodcast@gmail.com. I'd love to know. But let's start out with some
You want some history?
Let's figure out, because everybody
Did you
knows,
do
like,
this, or did you put this on here, or did you put it on here?
I put it on there.
Okay.
Did I
Because
put
I
one?
am more interested.
The little ninja history.
The ninja history, just because I'm interested in like where they originated. Like these guys weren't like dwarves and just like cracked open and just sprung out of holes in the ground.
Which would have been cool.
It would have been cool, but they actually have a little bit of origin. So buckle up, because I know you're in your car listening to this. Get ready for some ninja history. All right, so according to the Google machine, which is always right, ninjas may seem mysterious, but the origin of their name is not. The word ninja derives from the Japanese characters nin and ja. Did you know that?
Pretty straightforward, actually.
Yeah. Nin initially meant persevere, but over time it developed the extended meanings conceal and move stealthily.
Persevere in the darkness.
Persevere in the darkness. In Japanese, ja is the combining form of sha, meaning person. Ninjas originated in the mountains of ancient Japan as practitioners of ninjutsu, a martial art sometimes called the art of stealth or the art of invisibility. They often served as military spies and were trained in disguise, concealment, geography, meteorology. That's interesting.
The art of studying meteors?
Yep. Medicine,
No, it's
and
like minerals
also
and
the
rocks.
arts of combat and self-defense we associate with modern martial arts. Popular legends still identify them with espionage and assassinations, but modern ninjas are most likely to study ninjutsu to improve their physical fitness and self-defense skills, aka American Ninja Warrior.
Which we will talk about.
Yeah, which we will talk about. That's a very interesting point. Many of the tasks performed by a ninja were considered dishonorable and below the traditional samurai. In fact, most facets of a ninja were an affront to samurai. Did I say that right? Affront? Affront?
An
Right.
affront, yeah.
An affront.
Yeah.
Okay. Where samurai were proud upper-class citizens, ninjas were mostly compromised of lower-class citizens. Samurai
Comprised.
comprised.
Yeah.
See, I went to college. Samurai fought bravely in battles and followed Bushido, which is the way of the warrior, which we covered in the Samurai episode of PCFM. And samurai, that's the code of honor that deals with samurais to hold up. In contrast.
Contrast. Put the right emphasis on the right syllable.
There we go. The ninjas' methods were against Bushido in almost every way.
And this is kind of, we'll talk about this a little bit, that this is kind of one of the moral dilemmas that you have in the video game Ghosts of Tsushima.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you're a samurai in that game, but then also you start learning like underhanded and sneaky, stealthy ways of doing things.
Mm-hmm.
And then
they're like, that's not cool.
every time you do it, you have this like, but I'm supposed to call myself out and announce myself if I want to fight. Or you could do it like the stealthy way and sneak into the camp and kill people.
So you can literally practice Bushido or
ninjutsu.
Yeah. Very cool, man. Well, you know, I when I think of ninjas in pop culture, for some reason, and I've made this quote so many times, Deadliest Warrior.
Deadliest Warrior.
Deadliest Warrior, the greatest show of all time.
Was it them versus samurai?
No, it was, I'm pretty sure it was like ninja versus Spartan. Which is not a fair fight.
Yeah, that's a weird thing.
You got this small Asian man versus this like Greek ginormous.
And it depends on the fight too, because ninjas were meant to be like assassins, like stealthy and stuff, not like stand-up fight in the middle of a field. You know?
Absolutely. Not to mention they're not using any armor or have shields. They have like very minimal. It's like it's almost hit and run guerrilla tactics with ninjas versus Spartans, which are like formations, and you know, you need to be able to carry the shield to the man to the left.
Yeah, different. Who won?
Oh, the Spartan kicked his ass.
That is not fair. They should do it against some other stealthy agent of the night.
But I mean, cool episode nonetheless, because it like obviously features all the weapons, and they have like a bunch of ninjutsu experts come in and talk about it. But at the end of the day, you already call that match before it ends.
Folks, let us know. By the way, we talk about all these other shows like Deadliest Warrior. How many of you have heard about a show or something from this podcast and then went out and found it and like investigated it and found out that you actually liked it, or you discovered something new? Let us know. Write us an email or shoot us a comment on our Instagram. I just want to know, like, how are we influencing your exploration of pop culture?
Yeah, are we totally like blessing your pop culture like mind, or are we just completely wasting your time?
Like,
let us know.
Do you only listen to this podcast to laugh at how dumb we are?
Are we wasting your time right now?
How many more times are they going to mention Aliens and the Deadliest Warrior?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a cut above, but I think we're doing you an honor. But okay, you're welcome for our service.
We're about to do you a big service because we're going to talk about this first one, the first two actually.
Yeah, and they're pretty, honestly, because I haven't watched it, but in the
I was watching some highlights.
Yes, we watched some highlights, and this may be one of the greatest movies ever made.
Oh yes, we might be watching this. We might have to do like a live stream or something soon.
Absolutely.
Like watch you guys.
Yeah.
But American Ninja.
Not
American Ninja Warrior.
Just
but American Ninja starring Michael Dudikoff.
Yeah, and it's funny because it also has a sequel.
Yeah,
and it's the way.
Oh, there's a bunch of sequels. There was like 5 of these.
The reason it caught my eye right off the bat is because when we were looking up ninjas, I was like, okay, well, what combines ninjas and military? And this is the movie that does it.
This is it.
And like they start off as soldiers, army soldiers,
Yep.
and then the sequel somehow they magically become Army Rangers. And you already know I immediately gravitate towards that.
Yep.
Just because of my humble beginnings. But yeah, no, this is, you talk about it, man. It's just,
it's just
so
crazy,
many
man.
highlights from it.
It's like we're into this kind of thing nowadays of like 80s nostalgia. It's like its own subgenre of pop culture is 80s specifically nostalgia. And so if you watch, I'm trying to think of like, Kung Fury or something like that.
Yeah. Even
where,
Commando. Like the pinnacle of 80s action movies.
Yeah, this is one of the things that they lampoon and make fun of is American Ninja. It's Michael Dudikoff, and he's learned the way of the ninja from his master. And then, all these other ninjas.
Yeah, but he's just a white guy.
Yeah, he's just some dude. He's just some army dude, you know? And the fighting is it's almost like there was a point at which we decided to start actually doing, like real fight choreography.
Yeah.
Up until that point, it was maybe the cinematographer or the first AD, they're like, what are we going to do with this fight? He's like, well, kind of do this with your hand, and then you can, block, and then do, it was 4 moves. They had, 4 moves, and they just did them over and over again.
And don't worry, the stuntman will kill himself.
Yeah, the stuntman will jump on your spear, and then you just, move the spear over, and he'll jump on it.
And then do some crazy hand motion and go Waka!
Yeah. This is back in the day, American Ninja, they have this scene where they're, they bring all these, crime bosses, Colombian crime bosses, and they're, look at our ninja training camp, and there's, the black ninja group, and the blue ninja group, and the red and the yellow ninja group.
Yeah, and they're all doing crazy stuff.
They're all doing ridiculous stuff, running through these, swinging spike lanes,
and
dodging the spikes.
The yellow ones are just, literally practicing front flip rolls. And it's okay, you front flip roll right now. And the next guy goes, Waka!
Do a bunch, and you use the rope to climb up the
Meanwhile, the orange guys are on top of this giant bamboo structure and trying not to fall off.
Yeah,
it's just the ultimate 80s action sequence of a train-up school or academy.
It's basically somebody heard about ninjas and then I don't know, they read one of those comic books or something they read one comic book or one new magazine article and then just made up the rest.
Oh yeah,
totally. They're they're basically gymnasts, so we'll have a bunch of gymnastic stuff, and they're basically they even the bad dude, the main dude that he fights, he has lasers in his hands. Perfect. And and flamethrower. It's just every kind of cliche thing.
Oh, in the 80s action movie.
In the 80s world. Action movie, and they just slapped the word ninja on it.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, specifically one of the scenes that I watched was he's fighting a bunch of soldiers, and this guy is the only American that is capable of killing the Black Ninja Brigade or whatever they call it,
Yeah.
And he's fighting these soldiers, and he goes to some deuce and a half giant vehicle, and he pulls down the BII, and BII in the military is basically all your screwdrivers, jacks, your tow bars, just
wrenches.
anything you need. Yeah,
it's a little compartment on the underside next to the gas tank.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And it's just everything you need just in case your car breaks down. And he opens the BII container, and there's a screwdriver that he picks up and uses as a ninja star and drills some dude in the eye.
Yeah.
And then he picks up a crowbar and chucks it at some dude and hits him in the head. And there's this shovel, and this ninja shot an arrow at him, or the ninja shoots an arrow at some lady that just happens to be there.
Yeah.
And he takes the end of the shovel and puts it in front of her face and catches the arrow with the end of the shovel.
Yep.
Yeah, just ridiculous shit like that.
Yeah, it's all we're so used to these days having this really complex fight choreography with the Raid Redemption or movies like that. They're really complicated. A lot of the action moves in the 80s, the moves it's 2 moves. It's block and then punch, and they do something else. Or it's catch the arrow and throw it back. And it's all these 1-2 step movements and stuff.
Just
it's pretty funny. Yeah. And the music, the music is just, it's second to none. It's so cheesy. It's
Yeah, it's just
so
patriotic and electronic. And
yeah, patriotic and electronic, baby.
Yeah, that's all you need.
That's the name of my synthwave band, Patriotic Electronic.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome for that. But yeah, American Ninja and American Ninja 2, the confrontation when they magically attend RIP, and then they're just and
they still have 100. They have 101st patches.
Yeah, in the original Yeah, it's gonna be definitely on our Patreon movie night. That one's gonna be a good one because I can't wait to watch the rest of it. Just watching the highlight sequence of that was not enough for me. I'm sitting here and I'm I need more.
Something tells me though we might be asking for a night of full of pain because we watched the most exciting aspects of that movie, and it's an hour and a half long, and there's dialogue and story and plot. We're probably gonna be killing ourselves by the end of it.
Totally. Might have made a huge mistake here, but I'm here for it. I'm here for the mistakes. But moving on down our list of movies to talk about that involve ninjas. This one's a classic.
Dude, classic 90s movie, actually. We watched this, a friend of mine she had a 90s birthday, and we watched Surf Ninjas, the 1993 film starring Rob Schneider and Ernie Reyes Jr. and Leslie Nielsen.
A surf ninja.
Yeah. Oh, it's so great. And he has that thing like, but then there's this thing. There's a running joke of like, what if? Oh, Rob Schneider has this like thing.
He is so young in this. Oh my goodness.
They're like going. He has this running joke where like he says these like what if lines, and then it actually happens.
Oh no!
Like he was like, what if we fell off this cliff, and then like something breaks and they fall down into the trees, and then at the very end, the other guy, I think their mentor or whatever, who's like the main good guy ninja, he gets like stabbed or something, and he's about to die. He's like, what if I didn't die? And then he feels better. He's like, oh, wow, that worked.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
So
is it a comedy?
It's a comedy. It's totally a comedy.
Totally. Because I'm going to look
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Ridiculous movie. Because I'm just looking at the style in the movie. And like Rob Schneider is wearing like a baby blue bandana on his shaven head. And
it's like the thick of the
ridiculous.
90s. The 90s have not yet become the 90s themselves. They're still a little bit the 80s. Like the earlies, like the decade, it takes a little bit for the decade to define itself. We're still a little bit 90s or 80s in that one. And it's just it's all like neon colors and lots of shapes on T-shirts and stuff.
Totally. Where does this take place? It looks like he's wearing a San Jose Sharks. Is this like?
It's like L.A. Yeah,
LA
San Francisco, L.A. area. Yeah.
Oh, man.
And it's weird because Leslie Nielsen, they must have done this thing where like we've got Leslie Nielsen, right, and we've only got him for like 3 days. So they shot all his stuff. He never really interacts with the main characters. And I think there's even a part where he has a mask on, so when he finally does fight him, you can tell it's obviously not Leslie Nielsen. So there's like two movies.
Completely different body structure.
Yeah, there's Leslie Nielsen being an evil samurai, cultural appropriation samurai guy, and doing his machinations, and then there's them having their adventure, and then they finally meet up, and it's like a stunt guy,
Yeah, totally. I mean, I'm looking at a screenshot from the movie, and it's just a dude wearing full samurai armor with an M16 in his hand.
Yep, that's it, man. That's all you need. The cool thing, though, is
my favorite scene from the movie is the kids order like a pizza or something, and these guys break into their house and are trying to capture them, and it's these two doofuses, and they trick them into drinking soda that they like basically laced with medicine that like gives you diarrhea. And that's their big move, is that they give two guys
the big
diarrhea.
Move, huh?
Yeah.
Surf ninjas. We'll give you massive diarrhea.
Ninja stuff,
Dude, Just typical ninja stuff, giving everybody diarrhea.
But
that's
like
awesome.
Ernie Reyes Sr. has had his own had his own career in his own right, and then Ernie Reyes Jr. obviously, has had a cool little martial arts career, Ernie Reyes, he was the little kid. He like read Sonya. He was the little arrogant like karate. He's legit martial artist, and he was the star of that, and he's had a legit career, like based off of his martial arts,
He was in The Last Dragon.
Is he in the last? Is this is obviously the buff Asian guy that I'm looking at, right?
Yeah, like he's super cut.
Yeah, super cut. Is he in the oh man, I'm blanking.
He's in
right
Teenage
now.
Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
Is he?
And I think he was one of the stunt turtles in the first one, like a fight.
He's pretty big. Does he play in Bloodsport? Is he the giant Asian guy?
No.
No. That's Bolo Young.
That's Bolo Young.
Bolo Young.
They
He's
look
totally
very
different
similar.
buff dude, yeah.
And that might me just
Ernie Reyes Jr. is a little
ignorant.
He's a little bit leaner than Bolo Young.
Is he? Okay, yeah, that dude's.
He was also probably 2 when that movie came out.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, he was in. Yeah, but
that guy.
Yeah, you can see him in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. He's the pizza delivery guy that ends up teaming up with the turtles.
Oh really?
Yeah, and he knows martial arts. Like he's a legit dude.
I mean, you just mentioned another movie on our list right here.
Let's go into it.
TMNT, dude.
TMNT. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles doesn't just encapsulate, it's not just movies, it's like comic books. Like it started out as this kind of joke between, I think it's, I forget the two dudes' names, but they had two friends, and they were trying to draw things to like make each other laugh, and one of them drew like a little Ninja Turtle thing, like the first incarnation. And then he's like, hey, this is kind of a cool thing.
Cool, man.
And they end up evolving into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That's super cool because what do you got? You got Donatello, you got Raphael, you got Leonardo, and then you got Michelangelo.
What are their weapons? Pop quiz.
Here we go. Raphael has the 2 ninja daggers, size, and then Donatello, Donnie, obviously has the samurai sword.
He's also the computer whiz.
Oh, I'm sorry. He has a bow staff. Donatello's the purple
bow staff,
one. He has a bow staff. And then Leonardo, who is the protagonist.
He's
He
the
is
leader.
the
He's the
fearless leader. He has a samurai sword.
Yep, he's-
And then everybody's favorite, Michelangelo.
Party.
He's a party animal,
Yep.
loves pizza, gets drunk off cheese.
Yep.
And he has nunchucks.
Yep.
Yeah, man. I mean, that was my bread and butter growing up.
The movies?
Casey
Casey
Are you
Jones,
kidding me?
man.
Casey Jones.
He
dude.
did such a good job. The first movie was actually a little hard edge. Like, it was PG, and there was like some blood in it, and it was kind of rough. They really lightened up the whole mood with like the rest of like the cartoons and the rest of the movies. They really brightened everything
Yeah,
up.
because that was a big. This was when like where that shark movie, Sewer Sharks, or no.
Shark movie?
No, TV show, kids TV show. Was it Sewer Sharks? Where
Yeah,
they're
that
like
sounds
shark.
right.
Yeah, Sewer Sharks, and then like TMNT at the same time.
Which one do you think they were trying to riff off of TMNT?
I think so. I don't know when they came out. Sewer Sharks might have been before. Just because I remember that's a really old TV show. But then I remember TMNT just had a very close resemblance, just because obviously it's like biologically enhanced mammals and reptilians.
Yep.
But yeah,
Wait,
that was
not
my
Sewer
bread.
Sharks. Sorry.
It's not Sewer Sharks. What is
No,
it?
Sewer Shark was a video game for the Sega CD system.
Oh, what am I thinking of then?
No, I know what you're thinking of because I can picture it. It's sharks.
Yeah,
They had the little toys that were like the hand puppet things.
Yeah, it was a cartoon series about like these shark monsters that were like superheroes, kind of.
All right.
You got to find it. But yeah,
Find it. Or you guys could tell us
Street
in
Sharks.
the comments.
You were so
Street
close.
Sharks.
Street Sharks.
Street Sharks.
They
Straight
were
out
on the
straight
street.
on the
They weren't
streets.
under the street.
Yeah, no, straight on the streets. Yeah, Street Sharks. That was a good one. If you haven't heard of that, check it out because that was like nostalgia for me growing up. But yeah,
Do you guys want to know
TMNT
their names real quick, just as an
Yeah,
aside?
come on, hit me with
The
it.
Street Sharks? Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Ripster,
Ripster.
Slamu, like Shamu, but Slamu.
Was he an orca? He was, right?
I don't know. I'm
So
just
that's
I'm
not a
just
shark,
reading
but
names off
whatever.
Google.
It's not a shark, but
There
whatever.
was Streaks, like Streex,
Uh-huh.
Jab, and
Jab.
then my personal favorite, Moby Lick.
Moby Lick. Yeah. That's a good one.
Very
Yeah,
clever.
yeah. Street Sharks. But anyways, back to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I mean, James Cameron, right? He directed the like modern era TMNT, right?
Yeah, the whole reboot thing
The
that they
reboot,
did
reboot.
were CGI fest. And
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Massive
I don't know, man. Those ones were super, super cheesy to me.
Yeah.
Maybe I just outgrew them. I don't know.
Really? But you're
I
not,
haven't-
but
but I
the
haven't-
80s ones weren't cheesy for
No,
you?
no. Well, it's because I was a kid back then. you
Oh,
know?
yeah, totally. No, that was standard.
Everything was cool
Yeah.
back then.
I just like how like who's the main antagonist? Shredder or
Yeah, Shredder.
Shredder just
There's a
gets-
bunch of antagonists. Yeah, but yeah.
antagonist. Shredder just gets juiced up off steroids and
Yeah,
just,
Super
like,
Shredder.
Yeah, Super Shredder, and just like basically kills himself by accident.
Yeah, he through the front and underneath after the Vanilla Ice concert.
Yeah.
they're out on the docks and he
Yeah.
like starts destroying the
Drawing all
pillars.
things, and it comes on him in a classic '80s hand, like falling
Yeah, and then
slowly.
he's like, ugh, and he dies.
Look, I
yeah.
think a lot of tragedies were preceded by a Vanilla Ice concert. So
Oh man. Yeah,
true.
Y2K might have been because of Vanilla Ice. Now I think about it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you're right. He did kind of mysteriously disappear around
did.
that time.
And
you
then
know.
he resurfaced for Daddy's Boy, or what is it? The Adam Sandler
Grandma's
movie?
Boy,
Oh, really?
Grandma's Boy. No, was it Grandma's Boy?
or is it
No,
just
It's the guy from. It's Adam Sandler plays a guy that got his like middle school teacher pregnant. They were in a big relationship, and it was like a huge '80s scandal. It made him famous.
Oh,
And then-
that's right. But
Yeah.
that was his
That's
only
my
claim
boy.
to fame.
That's
yeah,
my boy.
That's my boy. Yeah.
And he names his son Han Solo because he's obviously this teenager that doesn't know shit.
Yeah. Yep.
That's another good. But no ninjas in that one, sadly. But you know what movie there is ninjas in?
What?
Beverly Hills Ninja.
Beverly Hills Ninja, baby.
Yeah, Chris
I remember
Farley.
seeing this in the theater, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Way to date yourself.
Yeah.
There you go.
Wait a
Everybody,
minute. That
Israel's
could have been
old.
any time.
Yeah,
It's
right.
97, man.
Can I
97,
just
man,
can, I-
that's
can
not
we
too
just
bad.
pause for a second? And I just
Yeah.
want to point out that all the movies we've talked about so far that involve ninjas,
Our
not
comedies.
not a single ninja in these movies are in Japan, or is
Yeah,
an
they're all in
American-
America.
Yeah.
I just find it funny, but go ahead.
Yeah, Beverly Hills Ninja. I'll mention that right now. Beverly Hills Ninja, and it's funny because all the ninjas we've noticed and have mentioned thus far in this podcast episode are nowhere near Japan. They're
No,
all-
these are all Americanized ninja movies.
totally. Way to take a concept and just butcher it
Yep.
for just pure entertainment factor.
America we are the classic like take an idea and just run it into the ground.
Yeah,
like that's
or
what
just
we do.
run away in the complete wrong direction.
Yep.
I mean, Beverly Hills Ninja, although it's funny, I rewatched it like a couple months back. It is almost hard to watch.
Beverly Hills Ninja?
Speaking of cheesy, Michelangelo, like, dude, this is a cheesy movie. Chris Farley is just like, you're like, come on, man. He's like, it is the ninja way.
And he's actually trying to do a character in this one.
Yeah.
Normally, he's just like,
Playing
it's just
himself.
Chris Farley playing Chris Farley.
Yeah,
but he actually
fat guy in
has
a little shirt.
Yeah, he has like a purpose and a focus and stuff. And he believes that he's like, I think he's like the chosen one. There's like a prophecy.
The white ninja.
And he's a prophecy. And there's like, and he gets washed up on the shore of like this Japanese island and gets raised with these ninjas.
Yeah, and he's just a fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, he's not good at it.
He's the worst. And
Yeah.
he doesn't think... I forget what happens. I forget what happens at the end. He's got his friend who was in the original Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah, and he's like his quote unquote brother.
Yeah, Robin Shou, who was in the awesome '90s Mortal Kombat movies.
Yeah, classic.
Well, the first one was good. The second one was hot garbage. But yeah, he's like his brother, quote unquote.
Yeah, he's just adopted brother essentially, and he's like top of the class. Like he is the ninja of what. Like if you want to be a ninja, you got to end up like this guy.
Like him, yeah.
Yeah, and I think the premise of the movie, if I remember correctly, is like they're out doing a mission, and like Chris Farley's back, and obviously they're not like doing it with him because he sucks. So he just stays back, and this like lady from America comes, and she's trying to hire a ninja, and like he poses as one, and just like reads the scroll that's like shows the prophecy, and he convinces himself that he's this, and he's like, I will help you. And then he goes on his own accord to like America and finds her, but she like sets him up or something because she's part of like a crime lord, and it's just like
oh man, you remember a lot more about the story than I do.
I mean that's as much as I remember. I don't remember how it ends.
A lot.
Yeah, so all right, the things that stick in my brain, completely useless.
Chris Rock's in it and he gets slapped by somebody.
Yeah, totally.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Just kidding, Chris Rock. Don't hate me.
Don't hate me. Yeah.
That was really dishonorable what he did.
Yeah. But yeah, Beverly Hills Ninja, classic movie. Not for the people that like want a serious, a serious taste of what ninjutsu is can make the user capable of. If you want to do that, I think the movie to watch is Ninja Assassin.
Ninja Assassin. That's like going the other way.
Oh yeah, you want like the most non-funny, like serious.
But then like
movie?
you talk about like supernatural, there's literally like ninjas coming out of shadows, like melding out of the shadows in this movie.
Yeah. It's like that's the Hollywoodized capabilities of ninjas. You can literally like there's a shadow and you look at it and all of a sudden a person comes out of it.
Yep.
Yeah. Which is cool. And to me, when I read like the description of at least the history part that I read in the beginning, I'm like, ninjas were literally the equivalent of reconnaissance assets nowadays.
It's a very astute observation.
It is. It's just like because I'm just reading some of the things they like specialized in was like land navigation, concealment,
meteorology.
Totally meteorologists. All reconnaissance assets are meteorologists. We know we're really good at reading the weather. But yeah, I was just like, yeah, these are literally the modern day equivalent of like of recon assets. But yeah, Ninja Assassin, in my opinion, is 300 action sequences just in ninja form. Yeah,
and it's all like pushed together. Like the ninja. I remember that one. Can I tell you this movie actually traumatized me?
Ninja Assassin?
Yeah, because it was one of the first movies I remember seeing where it was one of those shocking sudden deaths.
Oh, it's
at the very
gory.
beginning, dude's in like the area and like some dude's laughing and like he gets his face. His head sliced in half, like not at the neck, but like at the jawline,
in the middle of his face,
and it pops off and it lands on the ground, and it's like looking at him and stuff. So like now in certain movies, whenever there's like a close up static shot of somebody saying something, I'm like, oh god, here it comes, he's gonna get his head popped off. And like it's almost every single movie, unless it's like obviously like a comedy or a drama, I'm like, oh no, here it comes. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Because they like to, it's like a shocking kind of death.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I remember that happening and me being like, I saw that in Korea actually.
Yeah, that's
because
cool,
that dude's actually, at the time, he was like a super huge Korean action star or Korean star.
Yeah.
Anyway, that movie traumatized me. It was so bloody. Yeah, Ninja Assassin. I remember that not doing too well, I think, in the box office. Yeah,
I mean,
really.
It's nothing special. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just an action, crazy, gory. Action
that was just pretty gory. That was like the thing, Yeah. But what else we got, man? You know what? Let's talk about the main one on here. I think not for any other reason than I have a personal story attached to it, but American Ninja Warrior.
Oh yeah, please, man.
No, and this is obviously not. You know what? Hey, I got something to say. I got something to ask you guys. I was just doing a little bit of mini research because we were talking about like all these are like basically Americanized ninja movies, and I did a Google search of ninja movies from Japan, and there's like a couple, but like, am I just missing out on something? Like, are the Japanese like, yeah, we get it, they're ninjas, we don't really care anymore?
Yeah,
you know,
or
like,
they just super like glamorized now. That
Yeah,
it's, like,
they're
it's
like-
not that big of a deal.
Yeah, they're like, whatever, yeah.
they're just low class farmers that
Yeah.
like literally learn ninjutsu just to survive.
Yeah, did we just like totally get it wrong and just like co-opt the whole ninja thing and just it's like pirates. It's like, you
Yeah.
know, there's so much stuff that we think we know about pirates, it's all just made up, you
Yeah,
know?
but there's
Like,
an entire Pirates of the Caribbean sequence like of movies.
Yeah.
Not ninjas.
Yeah.
But that's actually an interesting thought because talking about like ninjas historically, there's a reason all of their weapons are very similar to like farming tools.
yeah, they tended to
Yeah.
be like lower end people.
Yeah,
Like they weren't like
yeah,
high
they were
society
farmers.
samurai.
Yeah, no, they were literally farmers, lower class citizens. So like all their weapons, literally the only thing they had access to was like, you know, these farming tools. So a lot of their weapons
And
were
nunchaku.
farming tools. So,
Yeah.
but that's a little interesting thought. But
That's
yeah,
cool.
dude, tell me about American Ninja Warrior.
You guys
I
know
know
Amer-
you have a personal story for
Yeah,
this.
American Ninja Warrior. You guys know the show. It's obstacle courses stuff, and
Yeah.
and they might have gotten it from. There was actually an older Japanese show where it was the same kind of thing, but it was pretty brutal. Like
Oh,
there
yeah.
were not as many safety standards on the show as they are today. But yeah, American Ninja Warrior. I actually auditioned for it in 2014, so like 8 years ago.
How'd it go?
It went pretty well in my estimation. The thing they don't tell you about that show is, so there's 2 nights. There's an untelevised night, which is like the audition where you do like the first 5 obstacles, and then the second night is the televised night where they do like the full 10 obstacle course. And you get there, and what they do is they let everybody who's like kind of higher on their list in terms of priority or like who's done the show before, they let them go first. So my call was at like, I think 7:00 in the evening. You know, it was at Universal Studios at the time, and everybody's going, and I remember noticing like people had like lunches and sleeping bags and all this kind of. I'm like, what's going on here? I didn't bring anything. I didn't go until 5 a.m.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's brutal. Could you
What-
imagine like being ready and trying to like get
Yeah,
that
pumped
mindset?
up, and you're
Yeah,
like-
you're all pumped up. You're like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna crush this course, and just
Yep.
have to wait hours and
Yeah.
hours and hours,
And that's
and
I
not
ended up
sleep.
Yeah, and not sleep. I ended up finding like a corner, and I got like on the cold ground and got maybe a half hour of shut eye, and then they wake us up. They're like, and what they do is they actually have a safety brief for all the obstacles that you're going to do, and they
And they,
actually
like, talk
have
through
somebody. Yeah, they go through it. They show somebody doing it. I'm like, oh, I'll just do it like that. I was like wondering how am I going to do this, and they show somebody. I'm like, okay, I'll just do that. I'm a pretty good mimic, you know, when it comes to that kind of stuff. So my time came up, and I did the first couple obstacles, like the jumping across the pylons, kind of the
Yeah.
zigzag, and then there was like you hold on to the swinging, you know,
thing
like
that's you just have to hold on to it while it slides down the rails.
yeah. No, this one was swinging, and then you had to come around and you had to jump off of it onto a net and crawl down the net.
Okay.
And then they had the kind of the wobbly stair things where you put pressure on them, but they had like a swing set aspect to them, so you had to step really quickly. Did that, and then the fourth one was the rings, and then like the pegs where you're like hanging by your hands, and you had to use like a kipping motion to hop the ring over the peg.
Yeah.
And I did like it was like, went up and I went across, and then I was coming down, and I hopped up, and like the ring, like for those that can't hear, like the ring hopped up, and it like high centered on the peg itself. The peg is like maybe an inch and a half in diameter at the top, and it caught there, and I was like hanging there. I thought I was landed, but then it fell onto the other side, and it just broke my grip, and I just fell into the water. Yeah, that
They
was
give
it.
you a little take-home trophy too, right?
Though they give you like a shirt and a towel. You know, it says.
No, I'm
American-
talking about you broke your pinky, right?
Oh, I did. Yeah, I broke my pinky. Yeah, it broke my grip, and I looked, and my pinky was like hanging off to the side, and I kind of like cracked it back into place. And like, ooh, boy, that
hurt.
So that was my moment in the sun with American Ninja Warrior. I tried to audition again after that, but it's a really hard process because they just get so many people at this point. They want like unique stories and stuff. So
Yeah, totally.
I just never. Maybe as the podcast gets bigger and bigger,
You'll try
my
again.
star will rise, and they'll
Or
ask me to come back.
Izzy, just start doing something to make yourself more unique.
Yeah.
I will. Yeah.
Yeah, you can go on like Wipeout or something.
5-state killing spree.
Yeah, there you go. Either or will work. But That's cool. That's a cool story, man. Not a lot of people can say they've like been on a show like that.
Yeah.
Was it a cool experience?
It was fun, man. Why I auditioned again was because I felt pretty confident in my abilities.
Yeah,
The
you were
biggest
like a
thing
CrossFit
there-
regional.
Yeah, I was pretty in shape at the time. But like what they do with the show is they really got to weed people out. So the thing that I really struggle with is it all ends up being like grip strength stuff. Like if you're a climber and you're pretty okay at jumping, you're probably going to do okay. So that would have been my only concern. But I don't know, maybe someday.
Hey, you just gotta jerk off.
I'm
more,
not.
dude.
I'm not dead yet.
Yeah, totally. But there's a couple things I want to mention before we transition here to our fan question and our game.
Yep.
Naruto.
No,
Naruto,
you got to
dude,
talk about
that's
Naruto,
a
man.
no-brainer when it comes to
You're gonna have to take
ninjas.
this one, man. I never watched Naruto, and people speak very highly of it.
Really? Yeah, no, it's I mean, there's a reason that it's like one of the most popular anime shows on there. It's been on forever. I mean, you got the original Naruto with multiple seasons, and then you got like Naruto Shippuden when they like grow up a little bit, and like it all centers around the main protagonist Naruto. And I mean, yeah, it's a very motivational show, dude. It's like, you know, this guy is the he's an outcast, essentially. You know, he doesn't have parents. He doesn't actually have like a father figure or like a mother figure because he, when he was very young, his parents died, and you don't find out later till like, you know, his father was like actually one of the Hokage, which is like the leader of the village. So he's like, he's descended from like greatness, but nobody knows until like way down the line. And there's these, there was a demon called the Nine-Tailed Fox, and like that you find out more that like there's a bunch of different demons around the world that like are very powerful. They're the most powerful beings in the world, and like they basically they were being the Hidden Leaf Village was being attacked by like this nine-tailed fox, and the only way to contain it was to trap it inside of a boy. So they trapped it inside Naruto. So like people stay away from him because like they're like, this guy's the demon.
And he doesn't know this for a long time.
I mean, he knows that he has the
Nine-tailed fox.
the nine-tailed fox inside of him, and like people stay away from him because like it literally destroyed the village. It killed thousands of people, you know. So they think he is the demon, so they're like, I stay away from you. So he becomes an outcast, and then he slowly becomes a ninja, and throughout the series he learns how to like use the nine-tailed fox's powers, and he's one of the most powerful ninjas. And you know, as the show goes on, he defeats a bunch of badass ninjas and becomes a badass ninja with like a bunch of other people. And like, no, it's an awesome anime series. Like it's gonna take a long time to finish nowadays if you try, because like there are so
like
many,
hundreds of episodes,
hundreds of hours
Oh
to
my
watch
gosh.
this show. And like it's dubbed now, but I used to be obsessed with Japanese culture growing up, so I would watch it with like subtitles and
Me
stuff.
too. I was like a
Yeah.
purist, like only Japanese.
Yeah,
with
only in
subtitles.
Japanese, and like at one point I swore I could understand Japanese just by watching all this stuff.
Yeah,
But
me
yeah,
too.
no, Naruto's a no-brainer when it comes to like anything associated with ninjas.
Yeah,
That's like the pinnacle in my opinion.
the pinnacle of anime when it comes to ninja. Well, I talk about anime about ninjas that was very like pivotal in my life, but the 1993 anime Ninja Scroll.
Ninja Scroll.
Ninja Scroll is one of those animes that you're not supposed to watch when you're a kid.
Why is it super adult themed?
It's super adult. It's super bloody, super graphic, and there's boobs in it. So it's got everything that kids.
There's what in it?
Boobs.
There's boobs
There's
in it?
boobs in it. There are
There's-
boobs.
Whoa.
There's many a boob.
Check this out later.
Not a lot, but yeah, it's like it's one of those ones that's like it's wild. It's like the Jubei is like the main dude, and he's more like a samurai type dude, but he fights a bunch of ninjas. But there's like these demons. There's these ninja like demons. There's like a rock guy, and then like there's like a spider lady or something. But yeah, anyway, it's super wild and crazy action. And I just wanted to mention it because it's like it's one of those ones where you watch it as a kid and you're like, the world is so much bigger than I imagined.
The world is huge. I am small.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
nothing.
I want to go to these places and meet evil demon people and ninja lady and stuff like that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you mentioned Ghost of Tsushima earlier just because I want to throw a video game in here.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I know you were playing it on stream for a while.
Yeah,
I haven't.
I still haven't finished it as of
Really?
the
Is it
recording.
that
of it.
long of a
It's
game?
so big. It's an open world,
Oh,
and
okay.
you've got
it's like a Skyrim and like a Red Dead just for
Exactly.
samurai /
exactly.
ninjas.
And there's so much to do. They just filled it chock full of stuff. I think they're making a movie out of it too.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, at the time of this recording, I think they actually cast the guy who plays Jin Sakai, the main character in the movie or in the game. I think they're getting. He's just like, I'll be in the movie too because I literally played the character. You know.
Oh, really?
But no, it's cool. It's like it's Tsushima. It's the invasion of the Mongols. and stuff, which
very
was a historical event.
Oh yeah, I'm a huge event.
Yeah.
I mean, the Mongols almost conquered entire Asia.
Dude,
right?
they went far, man.
very
yeah.
far. It was like Alexander the Great comparison in
Right.
Asia.
There's a couple of major historical figures that were like big conquerors, and Genghis Khan was one of them.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, but it was like his cousin or brother. Or
There was a
whatever.
crazy statistic that like if you hear, you wouldn't believe that, like, you know, I think it's like 1/3 of Mongolia's population is a descendant of
Yes.
Genghis Khan because he just made so many offspring
Yeah.
through his conquers.
He just got it on all the
Got
time.
it on all the time. Got it on like Genghis Khan. I'm
Get it
pretty
on
sure
like-
that's
that's probably where
yeah.
that came from.
Yeah, it's probably. Yeah, right
Starring,
where that
actually,
came from.
if I recall correctly, there's a movie with Genghis Khan starring John Wayne as
Really?
Genghis Khan.
Love it. That's
Can't
like,
do that today.
Yeah, hell,
Yep.
can't do that. Nope, not one bit. But
No, Ghost of Tsushima is super cool. It's got all of the amazing, like, it's open world stuff, and they, the combat's cool. You can either do like an open honorable samurai tactics. You can use like dishonorable ninja tactics, and that actually is, as far as I've played so far, it threads into the story of who the character Jin Sakai is, because he was raised to be an honorable samurai, and then when he talks about, like, to his master about doing these kinds of things, like whatever he has to do to win the war, the guy's like, no, we have to be honorable, and it's like, you're doing a dishonorable thing, it doesn't matter, and he's like torn, and
yeah.
so there's like,
does
and
that
there's-
affect the way the game goes if
That-
you're like using dishonorable tactics?
I don't know if it affects the ending or not, because I haven't beaten it yet, but no, it's one of those ones where I want 100% it. Like I'll take like a half an hour and just do a couple side missions because it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And they even have a director's cut that they released, and I'm sure they're going to work on a sequel.
That's cool,
'cause it
man.
was
I mean,
so
I've seen
great.
like gameplay on Facebook and stuff, just through Gameology and stuff, and it looks great. It looks just like Elder Ring as far as like the open world type of thing. So
Yeah.
that's cool, man. I'll actually have to check it out. I know I'm slow. I know I've said that like a billion times. Literally, they should make a drinking game out of every time I say I'm going to check out a video game, because our listeners would be wasted.
Yeah.
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 Don't drink and drive, people. So I think that's good for this.
That's
you
good,
want to do
man.
the fan question?
Yeah, let's do a fan. This was a fan reaction, actually.
Okay.
And this is, we get a lot of questions and stuff, obviously, but then we get some people that like we do this for fun, and it's just kind of a lighthearted kind of thing. But then, you and me being former military, and being the way we are, we're kind of lighthearted guys. We're nicer dudes, and we're kind of more affable. You don't even know. We're actually mean people.
Israel's so mean.
I'm so mean.
I saw him beat up a homeless guy last week.
Yeah, but I recorded it, put it on the black web.
Yeah.
But anyway, we give a certain impression of military men that maybe you don't often see in like popular culture or wider culture and stuff like that. And so this guy, Matt, on Instagram, he wrote, "Hey, I wanted to say, though I'm pretty new to watching y'all, I've been learning a lot about people who come from the military. It's been very eye-opening. As a kid, I experienced a lot of older folks, often parents and friends, who were absurdly toxic, which unfortunately cemented the idea that all or most military veterans were a similar product of the military. Through watching YouTubers like yourselves, I've definitely come to understand that was a misconception, because I really do love the content that you guys, among other military-based channels, create. Love all y'all's podcast, and nothing but the best wishes for you guys. Much love from Matt."
Well, thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt. That's pretty cool, man.
And don't be fooled. I am 100% a toxic person.
Yeah, your childhood experiences were completely accurate. We're mean.
Yeah, we're mean and, very selfish. And
Yeah.
don't.
I can
toxic.
confirm they are both bastards.
Yes,
See,
Chris knows.
Listen to Chris. Don't
So
put fireworks
aggressive.
near my house on 4th of July because I'm a combat veteran. That'll trigger my PTSD. Yeah, no. Well, even though it's not a question, it is nice knowing that, we're changing a culture.
Changing hearts and minds, man. Very
Changing
special
hearts and minds.
forces.
That's what it's all about, dude. So thanks, Matt. We appreciate the kind words, and we appreciate your support of the podcast. I'm sure there's other folks, hopefully, that that feel the same. And honestly, if there's not, fight me.
Yeah, that's right. Chris, I see you on there. I didn't realize that I did come up with the game, but if you came up with the game and you want to do it, go for it.
No, I like your game better. Go
Okay,
with your
cool.
game. We can always use my game on some other episode.
Okay, cool. So,
Game time.
game time, baby. You ready? Are you ready? You better focus, man, because this is a hard game.
I'm
No,
focused.
I don't know. It might not be that hard at all. This game is called Suki-Yummy.
Isn't that
this
a
game,
food?
Well, that's part of the game, my friend.
Okay.
So, in this game, I will give you a Japanese name. And you will tell me if it is the name of a famous Japanese warrior or a yummy Japanese food dish?
Oh, very cool, man.
Are
this
you
is gonna really screw with me? But hey, I'm ready. I don't know many Japanese warriors named Yakisoba, so let's try it.
Good, you're already in the right headspace. Okay, so the first one is unagi no kabayaki.
Unagi no kabiyaki.
Unagi no kabayaki. Maybe if I do it like this, very stereotypically Japanese.
Okay, perfect.
Then we get
that
canceled.
definitely helps. That definitely helps.
Is that a famous Japanese warrior or a famous Japanese dish?
Give me one. Hit me one more time.
Unagi no kabayaki.
I'm gonna say that's a dish, dude. I'm pretty
dish?
sure.
You sure?
I am. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's a dish, just because it reminds me of anything like umami.
Umami
It kind
and
of sounds
unagi?
like that, and then a lot of Japanese dishes I've seen end in like a yaki.
Okay,
Or have
alright.
a yaki in it. So
Like
I'm
topping
gonna
yaki
say
and
a
stuff?
dish.
Okay. I like where your head's at, man. You're in the right headspace. You are correct.
Dang!
It is eel fillets sweetened with kabayaki sauce.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, just
very
for future
cool.
reference, unagi is eel.
Unagi is eel.
Yeah, so if you go to a
okay.
See, we're
sushi
learning.
place and you get unagi, it's eel.
Oh, see, look at that. Good thing I ate sushi the other day, so I'm already got one up.
Yeah, you're prepared inside and out.
Okay,
You're
I'm ready for the next one.
You are of one mind and spirit. Okay, the next one is Tomoe Gozen.
Gozen?
Tomoe Gozen.
Gozen. Can you spell the last name for me, please?
No,
Okay.
just because I hate you.
There's a gyoza is a dish.
Hmm?
I'm pretty sure it's a Korean dish, though. So, gyoza. I'm pretty sure. Then there's a hoisin sauce. I just
Jesus
went to a
Christ.
Japanese. Yeah.
You're really trying to pull from your
Yeah, no,
Japanese
I literally
food
went to like
experience.
I literally went to an Asian market, like full on Asian. Like the cashier lady didn't speak English, and it was in L.A. And I was
like
like,
a wet
oh,
market.
God,
Better watch out for those wet markets, man.
I know. Really good food though. That sounds like a dish. I'm gonna say that's a dish.
Good guess, but you are wrong.
Wrong? Oh,
this
man.
is Tomoe Gozen was an Ona Bugeisha, which is actually a female martial artist
Oh,
back around the 1100s, who served Minamoto no Yoshinaka during the Genpei War from 1180 to 1185.
It was a dish named after her.
I mean, there could be, but it would be based off a real person. Yeah, I just
very
thought that was cool
You
because
geisha. You geisha.
yeah, it's a Ona Bugeisha. So she was
Bugeisha.
a female martial artist, a female.
Interesting. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I
Like,
thought that was a cool little
It
bit
was
of
a
history.
little cool history fact, too. There were female ninjas, and I'm pretty sure they practiced that. It was when I was going through my ninja history here. I was like, yeah, there's actually females that were some of the higher class spies. 'Cause
Yeah.
they could go under as like entertainments or geishas or entertainers, geisha singers.
Yeah,
and
geishas
infiltrate,
were they used to be like kind of high end courtesans. They used
Yeah.
to be like versed in like dance and poetry
Oh, yeah.
and all that kind of stuff.
And they would make really good spies because nobody, especially in that culture, you wouldn't figure them to be like,
Let us know if there are any cool female like Japanese spy or ninja movies out there that we should watch.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Okay, man.
All right.
Moving on.
Next one, Kaiseki Ryori.
Kaiseki Diori. Kaiseki Diori. I've never heard of any dish that would be like that. So I'm going to say it's a warrior.
Diori.
That's
It's
a
a
famous
warrior?
warrior.
You are wrong.
Okay, see?
Kaiseki Ryori is a traditional multi-course Japanese dinner.
Oh, interesting. Is it like well known? Is it like
I don't know, man. That's what Google says.
okay, Google's never wrong.
Google is never.
Okay. See, now I got to get back. I know how you format these answers. So now I'm going to, instead of like trying to use my intellect, my
You're gonna
higher level of intellect, I'm
play
just
the
gonna have to
odds?
play the odds here. 'cause
Don't
it's
do
50-50.
this. This isn't a multiple
I'm
choice
doing it.
test. It's not like 50% of them aren't C. So you just got to.
No, they definitely are, Chris.
Okay.
When in doubt, press B.
When in
Okay.
doubt, press B. Okay,
When
the
in
next
doubt,
one
choose
is Niku Jaga.
Miku Jaga.
Niku.
Niku.
With an N. Niku Jaga.
Niku Jaga. Okay, I'm going to say that this is a famous warrior.
Famous warrior. What makes you say that? Niku Jaga.
Jaga doesn't sound like a dish to me. It doesn't
Niku
sound.
Jaga?
Yeah,
Okay.
it sounds like a brute.
Okay. A big old bulk, like
Big
a
old-
buff Japanese
Oh,
dude.
watch out for that guy. That's
Yeah,
Niku Jaga.
that's Niku
He'll
Jaga
kill
coming
you.
down the street, man.
Yeah, he's coming down the street. Watch out.
But it's actually a flavorful dish coming down the street.
Oh,
A
my
flavorsome,
God.
savory dish of meat, potatoes, and assorted vegetables
This is what
simmered
happens
in
when I
soy
play the
sauce,
odds.
sake, mirin, and sugar. Yes.
Oh, very
I've actually
cool.
had this. It's like one of those ones you can get at like a like a McDonald's style place, like a
Oh,
fast
really?
food.
It's like fast food,
Nikujaga.
like street food kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, okay, don't play the odds anymore.
Don't
Cameron. Just try to. Honestly, the odds are all I got now because I know none of these dishes. So, all right.
Well, you're at least learning something about Japanese cuisine.
Absolutely. Get cultured, nerd.
All right, next one. Okonomiyaki.
Okonomiyaki. Okonomiyaki.
Is it okonomiyaki or okonomiyaki?
I don't know.
It's all in how you pronounce it.
Okonomiyaki.
It's all in how the
I'm going to say
pronunciation.
it's 2 words. I'm going to go with a warrior. That sounds
A
like
warrior?
a very noble name.
You're going downhill fast. That is wrong. Okonomiyaki is made by mixing together batter, sliced cabbage, and other savory ingredients, spooning the mixture into a hot plate, and then pan frying it as you would a pancake.
Okay, I need to buckle
Cam,
down.
you didn't
need to eat
even
some
follow your
okonomiyaki.
own rule about names ending in
odds?
yaki.
Oh yeah, huh? Look at that.
Oh my gosh, that was yaki. That's
That
right.
was a yaki. Look at that. Look, I'm losing the thread right now. I'm going down a rabbit hole. I'm
All right.
confused.
This is my
Who am I?
favorite one, so I'm going to give you 10,000 points to redeem yourself if you get it right.
Okay.
Yasuke.
Yasuke. Oh man, it's one word.
Yasuke.
Yasuke.
Yasuke. If you say it with conviction like a Japanese announcer, Yasuke.
Yasuke.
Yeah, Yasuke desu. Oh, the Yasuke coming down. Oh, now we're getting into racist territory.
Okay, this is definitely a warrior clan.
A
The
warrior
Yasuke,
clan?
Yeah.
Well, you're half right. It was a warrior. This
It
is a
was.
real life person. This was actually I looked this up because there was an anime made about a black samurai. And I'm like, are they just like
Afro-samurai.
making stuff up? This is actually a true story. An African slave who was brought to Japan in 1579, who eventually was freed. And then he was brought by like a Jesuit priest as his slave, and then eventually he was free, and he became the first black samurai.
Really? Is that Afro Samurai?
Yeah, I don't know if it's Afro. I don't know if it's probably based off of that, but I think there was another anime made even more recently that was, I think, what's his name? I took a picture with him at Comic-Con. Lakeith Stanfield voices the main character. But anyway, true story, black samurai. Didn't think it exists, but it does. Now we can all rejoice.
Okay, awesome.
Cross-cultural
So I'm right.
appreciation,
So I'm-
folks. You
so
were
I'm
right.
right. Okay, I am
And
right.
that means you won.
Yasuke.
You got 10,000 points, and you
10,000.
won the game.
Oh, that was the last one?
That's it, man.
Hey, at least I got 2 out of there. There we go. I'll take, as long as I don't do like how you did on the Star Wars episode.
Oh my
I'll
God!
take
As
that.
long as nobody does that, and but I redeemed myself by getting a perfect score in one of our other
Yeah,
games.
you
so.
did. You definitely did. Well, cool, man. That was a good game.
was
Very, very well thought out.
All right, cool, man. Thanks.
Good. I respect your creativity. And we hope you respected Israel's creativity
And
as
you
well.
respect ninjas.
And you respect ninjas. Because if you don't, they'll get you. They'll definitely get you. Well, folks, that's all the time we have for this episode of the Pop Culture Field Manual Podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. Sitting right there in your car, driving. Follow the rules of the road. We'll see you on the next one.
Cue music.